This is a poster that I came across at an antique store last fall, and I had to have it because I was studying at the time for my cancer exercise specialist certification. And one of the things that I realized after my own 2 lumpectomies and then my double mastectomy with reconstruction was how little information I feel like we are given about our lymphatic system, how it works, and the importance of being aware when we might have made our lymphatic system a little bit mad. And a little bit mad is okay, but really angry is not okay. So here's our lymphatic system, and we are going to focus today on the lymph vessels and the lymph nodes. So these are not all of the lymph vessels and the lymph nodes. This is just to give you an idea of how many there are. There are so many in the neck, right around our lungs, in our armpits, right through our bellies, a lot around our stomach, our intestines. Here's a picture of the stomach. So look at all these lymph nodes and lymph vessels around the stomach. Same with the large intestine, same with the small intestine, right? So we have a lot in our groin. And then just a few down in the legs, a couple in the knees. And then it just goes into smaller and smaller vessels. So these are not the circulatory system. This is the lymphatic vessels. So the circulatory system is going to bring blood through the arteries, right, down into our extremities, and the veins are going to pick that blood back up and bring it back up to the heart. But it doesn't bring all of the fluid back. The veins only bring, I don't even know what the number is, 90% of the fluids back, and so leaves about 10% behind for the lymphatic system to pull back up into the body. So in that, there's some extracellular fluid, and then what I would just call debris. There's just proteins, foreign materials, infectious microorganisms. Basically, your lymphatic system is your garbage system. So it's taking that extra fluid and the garbage and pulling it back up through the lymphatic vessels, where it gets cleaned by the lymph nodes. So the lymph nodes take that fluid, clean it out, and then it gets dumped back into the venous system right below the neck. On the left side, it is draining this big tube right here that drains into the left side, is draining all the body, all the way up, right? The fluid goes all through the lymph vessels, this left arm, and it gets dumped into this left side, and then the right side goes into here. So that doesn't have quite as big of a job to do. Now let's look at this lymphatic system a different way. Let's look at it like it is a series of roads and highways and toll booths. And during the normal everyday traffic, the cars are driving on the road. They're driving on the road. Everything's fine. They get to the toll booths, right? The cars have to go through the toll booths, but there's always enough toll booths. There's always been enough toll booths. The fluid gets filtered and it gets dumped back into the system. Now it's time for us to have some lymph nodes removed. Maybe they just removed 2 or 3. I think I had 3 removed. If you take just 3 toll booths away, that might not cause a problem. The other ones might be able to accommodate, and the fluid might just keep flowing back like it's supposed to. The more toll booths or the more lymph nodes you have removed or radiated, okay, radiation is going to affect how those toll booths can process the cars that are coming through. The higher the chance is that your traffic is going to get backed up, right? We all know how that works. As soon as some of those toll booths come down, the traffic gets backed up. So that's the same thing with our lymph system is the cars can't get back up. The fluid can't get back up and through the lymph nodes to get dumped into the circulatory system. Now, maybe it does, you know, I only had a few that were removed, and I definitely felt some fullness for a long time in my chest, right along my ribs. And that's how I would describe it to people. I knew I had done too much when I felt full. It wasn't a muscle pain. It just was tight. I have a friend who got a bug bite on her radiated side. She just went for a walk in the woods with her daughter and got a bug bite. And the bug bite increases swelling in her arm, and her system was not able to keep up with that swelling. So she developed cellulitis, right? I think we've all heard that people get cellulitis. And what is that? Essentially, it's an infection because our garbage system isn't clearing everything out. It's just sitting there and the body can't clean it out. And so suddenly there, like I said, we have an infection. Now we have to take antibiotics. We all know what happens after taking antibiotics. Nobody wants to deal with any of that. Other things that we want to avoid besides bug bites are any kind of scratches or bruises, injuries, infections, sunburns, being in a hot tub or a sauna too long, really anything that's going to increase swelling in that arm. And that's why you also want to avoid immunizations in that arm if you can, because often that can cause the area around it to start to swell, and that's going to tax your lymph nodes. Signs and symptoms to watch out for that indicate you might be developing lymphedema are any kind of pain or redness in the extremity, tightening or thickening of the skin, swelling of the arm or hand. You might notice your jewelry or your watch feels tight, and any kind of tightness, fullness, or heaviness in the arm, around your chest, right into your back. I know that's where I was feeling mine after my mastectomy, which is totally normal as our bodies are trying to adjust to the trauma that just happened and the removal of all those lymph nodes and lymph vessels. So that's normal to feel after surgery. But if it suddenly starts developing after your normal healing time, you want to get a hold of your healthcare provider so they can hook you up with a physical therapist or a lymphedema specialist or a cancer exercise specialist to help you get that lymphatic system hopefully moving again. In my next video, I'll explain how some simple movements and breathing exercises can promote lymphatic drainage to help keep your traffic flowing. I hope this video was useful, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Just pop them in the comments and I will answer them as well as I can or send you in the right direction. Thank you so much for flying by.